Right, obviously, Baldy, the firing of Brian Daboll, we'll get to that in just a second. I do want to start, though, with the play of Jaxson Dart and him getting hurt. Do you think that any of that is on the head coach, Brian Daboll, the play calling, the way they've used Jaxson Dart since he's taken over as starter?
No question. There's no question about it. I mean, first of all, they had a play in the first half where they put Bellinger on Montez Sweat, the only decent pass rusher the Bears have. He collapsed the pocket. He's on the middle of the C, in the middle of Soldier Field with his helmet off, holding his head. After everything that's happened to him, I thought Taylor Bethune put him to sleep last week on a run up the middle. And then that run on 2nd and 6 in the third quarter with 5:15 to go, up 20-10. And that's when, the ball got stripped out of his hands by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yep.
Like, why is he running? Why are they running a read option? Why not Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary? Why is he running it? Like, he's a great runner, I get it. But they did the same thing with Daniel Jones, and they ruined him physically. They did the exact same thing. Like, I do think that's a part of it right here.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe even more damning here is that he was clearly concussed, and he goes back out to play football, and then they pull him after he threw a pass in a couple of plays. So where's the checkpoints? Where's the culpability? What happened there?
I don't know. They have independent, people, doctors that are in charge of that. Independent because they don't want the team to do what we saw Brian Daboll do, go into the tent after him. That's why he was fined so heavily.
Yeah.
Because players, they can't protect themselves. They're just the competitive juices flow, and Jaxson Dart, other players too. You need somebody that's not involved making those decisions so that we don't get these head injuries the way that we see them. And that's why all these protocols are in place.
Yeah, no question. All right, so Baldy, let's push this forward here. All right, we spent a lot of time today talking about, obviously, Daboll yesterday and Shane today. And it's, listen, maybe Shane's back. The way it was worded kind of caught us off guard, whatever. But you really know the league, and you know the health of most of these buildings here. When you compare the Giants, their ownership at this point, the way they're run, the amount of true football people in the building, how does it stack up with some of the other teams in the NFL?
Well, I mean, the record speaks for itself. I mean, it doesn't stack up. It doesn't stack up with what the Rams have done under McVay and Les Snead. It doesn't stack up with the way Seattle just made certain moves to get competitive again. It doesn't stack up with what goes on 90 miles south of them in Philadelphia. It doesn't stack up. They're not built for the long term. I mean, the Eagles make one move after another. If they make a mistake, they basically sweep, like Bryce Huff. They signed him to a $51 million deal. It didn't work out. Here's Jalen Phillips. He's the best player on the field last night. They reward their players with, handsomely. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts. When their players perform, they don't go looking for somebody else. They, like Saquon. They get a good player in. They make sure that player is a part of, the nest for a long time. It doesn't stack up with what's going on in this league.
You think it's an attractive job for the next head coach?
Well, I think it can be. It can be. There's a lot of pieces in place. We've seen, immediate turnarounds in Indianapolis. They got the right quarterback. They got, they've got a star running back. They're very competitive right now. Things can turn around in a hurry in this league. We've seen that. Turned around in Seattle in 2 years. They got the right guy there. They're knocking on the door to win the division. It happens all the time if you get the right guys making the right decisions.
Baldy, if the Giants called you and they said, all right, help us out here. You're a local guy, need a little direction. Give us a list of 3 people where experience and temperament, things that you think would play in New York. Who would you put on that list for the Giants to really go after aggressively as head coach?
Well, that guy that they showed in the booth last night in Green Bay, Jeff Hafley, he's been in this league, coached in this league. He's been a head coach at Boston College. Kind of reminds you of the other guy that came from Boston College that won a couple Super Bowls here. His defense is fantastic. They led the league, or second in the league in takeaways a year ago. Mm-hmm. He's got a real blueprint for how to play. Xavier McKinney leaves the Giants. He's an all-pro free safety with Green Bay. That would be a guy. I would talk to Spags. I don't know how Spags keeps getting overlooked, but every year his defense helps them get to a Super Bowl again. Those are guys that, I would be interested in talking to.
But Baldy, with all due respect, and listen, you know much more than I do, but I mean, it's time to get somebody who's done the job. I cannot run the risk of a guy being overwhelmed and then just 5 years from now, the Giants still being a train wreck. There's no way.
Well, then you just go look at the Sean McVay tree, because there's 5 head coaches in this league right now, including Matt LaFleur. But, in Jacksonville, they're all out of Sean McVay's tree. He trains coaches the way Andy Reid trained coaches. A lot of these guys, first-time guys, are having a lot of success right now. You go to Baltimore and look at what Mike McDonald's doing. You go to some winning franchises that have turned out head coaches. And, there's a proven track record with young guys. But, does Matt Nagy float your boat?
No.
Okay, there you go. But Matt Nagy. Mike McCarthy, I would move on from that.
You would, huh?
He doesn't float my boat.
The Dallas gave him 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he won 12 games every year.
Huh?
He won 12 games every year. Look at Dallas now without him.
Yeah, well, they've made a lot of bad business decisions too. It's just a poorly constructed team right now. That's not really, anybody's fault but, the front office.
Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. I want to get back to the Jaxson Dart aspect of this, Baldy. So what do you think a new head coach is supposed to do with him? If his greatest ability so far is the read option and running, which obviously you don't want to take that all away because it's going to be successful, how would you suggest coaching Jaxson Dart to maximize what he could do on the football field?
Well, the guy plays the game fearless, not just because of the way he runs. His throws are fearless throws. Like, he knows what he's looking at. He's got a very clear picture. To me, if they were building this thing the right way, there's no reason to me that Jaxson Dart can't be what we're looking at in Drake May. I just saw Drake May this past week in Tampa. Like, that kid, now he does run and he does scramble. Not the way Jaxson Dart does, not as often. But they don't have plays in him for him to run. They hand it off to Travion Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson, but they don't have designed runs for him. Like, that's just, you're already going to get hit enough, And so I think physically they're very similar. I think the mentality is very, very similar. And the difference is the head coach in New England and the offensive coordinator that holds every single person in that building accountable every day and coaches them hard. I was talking to Drake on Sunday about it. What the week is like and the demands that are put on players. That's where it's got to start right now. These guys, the offsides, the hold, when they're up 20-10 by the offensive line, like, you can't just walk off the field when Runyon and Schlottman are backing you guys up when you got a chance to put that game on ice in Chicago on Sunday.
Baldy, we were talking about the possible head coaching candidates. A guy I've always loved has been Josh McDaniels. I know he's failed a couple of different times. Any chance you'd give him a look here if you're the Giants?
I don't know. He's had 2 opportunities, and he hasn't been good in either one. I don't know a third opportunity is going to be any better. He is a great play caller. He works excellent with quarterbacks. There's no question. There would be I believe that Jackson would improve, but I don't, you haven't seen the team respond to him around the quarterback in the offense.
Yeah, true. If you believe in maturity, then maybe you're a proponent of at least having a conversation with Lane Kiffin. That gets you excited or no?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, Lane is in demand everywhere. I just did a Texas Tech game, a BYU game, and his name is mentioned at LSU, Florida, every spot right now. But he's coaching the NFL. His dad coached in the NFL. Like, he's got NFL pedigree.
Yep.
He coached Jaxson Dart for 3 years. He got Jaxson Dart basically drafted in the first round. He can coach. He's got a good offense. His concepts work. Yes, I would talk to Lane. It might cost a lot of money, but it could work.
Yeah, the Giants have money. If they don't want to spend money, then just keep taking shortcuts, and in 5 years we'll just reset and have the same conversation. Money. Nobody wants to hear about the money. I know you're not saying that they wouldn't spend it.
No, you're right.
Come on.
You're in the game to win.
Yes.
Like, money shouldn't have any, especially for the head coach and his coaching staff that he wants. Now, can he get a GM, that can build the team in his eyes the way he wants the team built? And is Joe that guy? I don't know. But, Yes, I would absolutely talk to Lane, and money, the check and how much it costs to get him, or any coach that you really want to be the difference maker. It shouldn't be a factor.
What about, BT. What about Belichick, Baldy? We've talked about him. I know how big of a fan you are of Belichick. You think the game has passed him by, or would you take a look at him for this opening?
Well, if he could get Josh McDaniels to run the offense for him, I would be interested.
Oh, maybe Patricia for defense as well. You could have Belichick head coach, McDaniels, and then potentially Patricia.
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in that. I don't think that Bill at this time should be the general manager the way he was in New England.
I agree.
It did not work out good.
He's not good at that.
He did not pick good players. They missed on a lot of picks. And if he's in charge, and he's in charge of the draft, you can't. I don't know that any coach can do it anymore like that. It's just too hard. Vrabel's got Elliott Wolf up there right now. They've done a great job in the draft, great job in free agency. I'm sure Vrabel had to sign off on a lot of this stuff. He's hands-on. But, I mean, that's really that's the franchise that you got to look at right now that's doing it the right way. But, yes, I would be interested in Bill if he said, give me a general manager that can come in here and build this team the right way with spending the right money and drafting the right players and all of that.
A lot of we just reached for these names, and we've given you some new ones, so it's not like we're just lazily picking names out. But the Gruden name comes with a lot of energy and a lot of intrigue. Is there enough substance there with Gruden at this point for you to have a serious conversation?
Well, I mean, I like John and I respect John, but honestly, he was not good with the Raiders. Now, maybe Mike Mayock was his general manager, but they didn't turn things around with the Raiders there. He won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team. And look, he got it done. He made it happen. And Monty Kiffin, they did a great job winning there. But I wouldn't say that, his time out of football to go to the Raiders, that he was making a big difference at that point. Like, I know he's studying his film, and I know he's looking at all the new trends and all the things that have changed in his game, which is immense since he won a championship. But, I would be interested in talking to him and picking his brain about things. And if he, at least having the conversation.
Hey, Baldy, real fast. Listen, some of these wins are ugly, whether it's 39-38 or, pretty gross this past week against the Browns. But you seen any signs that Aaron Glenn is starting to stabilize things and maybe kind of getting a little rhythm as the coach first year or what?
Well, I mean, I do. I see fewer penalties.
Yep.
They're not beating themselves. Look, Cleveland's a great defense, and they struggled for almost 3 full quarters. But they did kind of like Brees, pop that screen. He popped a run. The offensive line kind of did good at the end of that third quarter into the fourth quarter. And they played keep away, and they scored. And so, the special teams lost that game against Pittsburgh week 1. They've made a change there. They've got the right guy in there. So I feel like piece by piece, we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround. They're buying it. You can see the celebration. It's their second win. It's against Cleveland. But to see the guys celebrating in the end zone gave me hope that they're on the right track. And let Moogie take these picks. And let's see what he can do with them. I think the trades were really good. The assets are good. The money is there. Let's see what they can do with it. Because I do feel like they should try to win every single game. Every game is important. This game on Thursday night against the Patriots is a measuring stick. It might be a blowout. The Patriots are really good, but I like to see how they compete Thursday.
Thank you, Baldy. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, my pleasure, guys. Yep.
Okay.
That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. More.